When you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Welcome! Are you sick of spending 20 minutes crafting the perfect loadout for your next raid, only to die within the first 5 minutes? Same. So I decided to skip the loadout part and do some hatchet runs. Inventory completely empty, 0 to hero style. That got me thinking, which is the best map to do a naked run through? With my vast experience and immense map knowledge, I did a minimum of 5 raids on each map, excluding labs, to see which map was the best. This is not an in-depth guide on how to loot each map, just what I experienced from my experiment. At the end I'll be ranking them based on what was best for loot, how much fun I had, survivability, and how difficult I found it. So stick around for that. Anyways, let's get started. So first on the list was Factory. I found it very hard. My initial plan was to wait for all the players to leave, then treat it like a normal scav run. It didn't work. It was all too close proximity to be able to loot weapon crates in time. I died within the first minute of the match starting all the time. Didn't survive one raid. I even tried sitting still and waiting for the initial action to die down, but all the scavs would automatically start rushing me as soon as I spawned in. It would feel similar to a normal scav run if you can survive long enough, but no one is friendly. So it was not fun, very difficult, and not really that much great loot. Next up was Woods. Now Woods was a lot better for me. Being able to loot ground caches was so nice compared to instantly dying. There isn't much cover if you get attacked before gearing up though. I often found myself hiding behind a tree to avoid being shot. Spawning near USEC camp or down by RUAF is good. There are plenty of medical spawns, a good chance to find a weapon, and more hidden caches scattered around. There was one raid where I survived, where I spawned at the old sawmill, which was great. Managed to get an SMG and an M4 very early on without any scabs being nearby. I was able to shoot scabs before they engage. Nothing really happened that raid though. I just looted, stayed around the outskirts, got a bunch of good loot. Didn't find many meds though, but it wasn't needed. Very profitable run, as a standard woods run can be. Next up was customs. I felt like I got a few unlucky starts to customs, kept spawning in the same couple of places and not finding much loot. Killing scavs with your melee weapon isn't the hardest thing, but getting a heavy bleed when you have no meds is pretty much game over. I kept trying to loot scavs as often they have an S-March on them or some sort of tourniquet. The raids go a lot better if you already have acquired some meds, so when I get into a fist fight with a scav, at least I could recover from it. Mobs of relentless scavs can be a huge problem. Medical spawns are pretty spread out, so unless you get a full med bag uncontested, then it can be quite a difficult map. A lot of good loot on customs is locked behind doors, so it's a bit random on whether it will be a profitable run through or not. Still, a lot of fun and such a great map. So, Interchange, I found, was an easy map to run with no gear. There are plenty of hidden caches outside and lots of weapon boxes, especially in the basement car park. If you are patient enough, you can sneak around and hide a lot easier due to the density of the building. First run was good. It took a while to find a gun, but when I did, I managed to kill a scav, get a small bag and vest, ready for looting. Got some okay loot and walked on out. Easy. Obtaining a weapon seems to be fairly easy on this map. Getting meds is somewhat harder, but a lot of the time scavs will have something on them. And that was pretty much it for this map. Kept spawning in, get a weapon from the car park or somewhere nearby, and then just kill a few scavs, get a bag, get the loot, and get out. Plenty of loot to be had, as well as plenty of food in Goshen, so you can survive quite easily.
Nice move.
Initially, I thought Reserve might be difficult, as it can be a brutal map to traverse, but if you spawn near the barracks area around the pawn buildings, it's actually great. Found weapons easy enough and plenty of good loot and meds. When you are done looting the upstairs buildings, you can just make your way down into the bunker. It has heaps of weapon boxes down there, and if enough time has passed, you can have dead scavs everywhere. I just wasn't prepared to fight raiders though. Mainly stuck to the barracks area and the bunker. It has plenty of medical bags and for reliable loadouts as well. It is a good map for doing this. If you don't get much loot, you can always take the manhole extract as well. Otherwise, you can walk out with some high tier loot.
Земля! Парень, рубай, батя! Служи!
After looking at the map for Shoreline, it might be difficult. Seems to be very little weapon box spawns and they are very spread out. I pretty much had to go to resort or get lucky with a hidden cache. Much like woods, it is very open out in the fields running around between all the loot spots. It is very easy to get shot from players running inland since I have no armor and get dropped super quick. Have to prioritize finding a weapon first. Can't secure the good loot if you can't defend yourself. A lot of the loot is locked behind doors in the resort itself, much like customs. Ideally, you'd get a key for the USEC stash at Power Station, but not so easy to find.
Hey man, how you doing, bro?
So Lighthouse was a weird one. I pretty much spawned at or near the chalet every time, which wasn't a bad thing at all. After running it a few times, it had some great loot. I did struggle to get a gun, but that was just probably me being unlucky as I found plenty of weapon boxes. Once or twice I encountered 0 scavs and looted the chalet without any trouble. Finding a weapon or a chest rig early is such a great feeling. You get to stop stressing about surviving and just start looting. Made 500,000 rubles in one run. The resort and chalet seem to be the best places to loot in general. Other parts of the map don't have any weapon spawns, plus there's the bosses and all the rogues. Unless you are hunting them, you're just better off going there. On a normal day, I really like Streets of Tarkov. It is definitely one of my favourite maps. You get a full 50 minutes to go loot apartment buildings in just absolute peace, or you can fight waves of scavs in any of the hotspots they seem to hang out in. Being a dense city, I thought it would make it easy to sneak around or run away from danger until I am ready to fight. I was wrong. There doesn't seem to be a lot of weapon spawns, and scavs can spawn super close to you at the start and just mess you up. Streets can be a good map once you're geared up though. You have to get fairly lucky to find a weapon early on, which makes it kind of hard. Not only are the weapons harder to find, meds weren't that abundant either. The Map Genie map is still a work in progress, so it won't show a lot of the loot spawns either. Much like Customs, a lot of the top tier loot is locked behind doors. Okay, now on to the rankings. First up would be survivability. In third place, I would say woods. Just having the space and open map to walk around freely was definitely a good thing. Second, I would say reserve. Just being able to grab a weapon early on increases your survivability by an immense amount. Just being able to defend yourself and not worry about getting hit by a scav and I know I have no meds, where do I go next? I've just beeline to find it. You can just treat it like a normal run. And first up, I would have to say Interchange. Just go, it's a pretty straightforward run as I found. You go to the car park until you find the weapon, and then you find a scav, kill them, load up with all their gear, and then just treat it like a normal map. You can avoid detection pretty easily and avoid a lot of the players and where they go, so definitely an easy map to do. Next category is difficulty and how hard I found the map. The third hardest map would have to be Streets. It's just a large map and lots of people and scavs can spawn in it, so I found it very hard to be able to sneak away from anyone. They're just around every corner. Plus, not being able to find a weapon early on made it pretty much a death sentence. Second would have to be Shoreline. No weapon spawns pretty much anywhere in the map, means you're running to resort and just running into the players that are heading there as well, so not a lot of fun, just hard. And first on the list would be Factory. The close proximity is just an absolute no-go. There's no way to avoid conflict at all, and everyone's trigger happy. Not much way to reliably get a gun and defend yourself. Just end up dying within a minute. Also, special mention for Lighthouse. I feel like if you spawn anywhere on a map besides near the resort or the chalet, it'll be a super hard map to run without any gear. There just doesn't seem to be any weapon spawns or anything besides in that area, so shout out to that. Next is fun, how fun I found the map. Just general playing it and enjoyment. Third would have to be woods. Although it is a lot of ground to cover, and if you don't find the weapon it can be quite difficult, but it's just a good map. And once you do start to get some gear, you can take out some scavs, move through, a good balance of difficulty and enjoyment, which I liked. Second would be Streets. Same deal. Once you do get a loadout, then it's sort of like a fight for your life to get out, because the extraction's the other side of the map. You've got an okay gun with not a lot of ammo, and there's probably 10-15 scavs in your way to extraction, so a good shootout on the way out's fun. And firstly, I would have to say customs. I enjoyed playing customs a lot for this experiment. It was where I really started to find my groove and figure out how to do this sort of style of no loadout. And it's just all in all a great map, good balance of difficulty and survivability, so first on the list. Last category would be loot. How much high tier, high profit loot I was finding. So third for me would have to be Lighthouse. Sort of mix and match, it sort of can be good, can not be good, but the couple of times I ran Lighthouse and looted the chalet, I was finding a lot of good stuff. Often made 500,000 rubles just from looting it, which is all profit too, because I didn't spend anything on a loadout. Second would have to be Reserve, as it's always a profitable map since get-go. It's everyone's go-to loot run on how to make 10 million rubles in one raid. And sure enough, I found it. Yeah, you loot the tech room and grab a lot of weapons parts and weapons and make your way out. So very good map. First would have to be Woods. I always think Woods is a profitable map. There's just so many weapon mods and suppressors. I found a LEDX or two multiple times, so Woods has always been a top tier map for profitable loot runs. So this is the end of this experiment. If you made it this far, then congratulations, as it was my longest video so far. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. Share your thoughts on any cool raids you might have had running no gear. While you're there, feel free to like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot and I really do appreciate it. This was a lot of fun for me to record, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Until the next one, have fun.